Hey everybody, Scotty here, pitching my compost pile. This is a real good one. It's a little bit small, but right now there's a real good heat break down here, and you can see some steam. You can certainly feel it. It's a good looking pile today. But I want to talk about regenerative agriculture today. Oops. A little bit of plastic in there. Always a little bit of plastic you got to pick out. But about regenerative agriculture and why I think it's the most important thing that we need to be doing in the world. And it starts off with everyone's worried about how the weather systems are being affected, and they seem to be changing, so we're told. And maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Who can tell? I'm just here in Houston, Texas. My perspective is my own. But one of the things I learned about regenerative agriculture and what's going on with living soils versus dead soils is that dead soils are like compacted dust. Boy, that's good steam. And you can see here that white stuff. That's mycelium. Oh, it's good. But it holds much more moisture, this living earth, like tremendous amounts more. And the compacted dust, it just runs right off of it. Dust creates a barrier, so it doesn't really permeate, and the life doesn't really create fibrous earth. Like it says, compacted dust just kind of doesn't hold water, doesn't hold nutrients, doesn't hold life. And that's what we've done with our soils. We've gone to a chemical fertilizer. We've gone to chemical herbicides and chemical pesticides. We basically killed the microbes within the soil that produces our food. And this is bad for the food, and it's bad for us. It's bad for the animals we feed the food, because this food isn't good for you. There's some real problems with it. They're finding that more and more. But more than all that, it's the amount of moisture it holds. We took millions and millions of acres or miles or whatever it is of really rich farmland here in the US, and we've degraded it through conventional farming. And this conventional farming has taken this rich, deep topsoil and turned it into kind of compacted dust. And like I was saying, now we're at a place where our environment is holding a lot less moisture over the land. There used to be millions and trillions and whatever number of gallons sitting in the land in this fibrous living earth. And then there was all sorts of plants were growing in this earth that were respirating this moisture back into the environment. Now, all this land doesn't hold its moisture. When it rains, it just runs off into the waterways. So water is collected where there's already a lot of water, but where it's dry, it doesn't sit, it doesn't stay. It strikes me that if you're going to be looking for a reason why our weather systems are disrupted, us taking all the moisture off of the land and putting it in the waterways, well, that seems like that would be the first culprit I would look to. And the thing is, as farmers, as people, as humans, we naturally regenerate land. We have the ability to do what I'm doing and just infuse nitrogen with carbon and create a life cycle where there wasn't one. And we have the ability to foster microbes with traditional practices. But instead, we think that we've come up with a better solution by sterilizing our environment. And I think the consequences are evident that sterilize environment's a bad one. And a lot of us are sick, but the environment is sick too, and a lot of us are beginning to realize that. And I don't know anything about gas in the air, temperature, or whatever, but I do know that we're destroying the actual earth, the soil that we use to sustain our life. If we don't fix this, we'll probably end up sterilizing everything. There'll be a tipping point where life just kind of screws up if we just keep killing all these microbes off. It's a bad principle. We need to go back to more traditional ways of food production. Compost. Anyway, thanks y'all.